or go to Panama to start a t-shirt business made from recycled plastic. Man, something told me, like, Diego, go to Panama. Like, I literally felt it.
If you're looking for business mentorship, I have a place where you can get feedback on your unique personal development and business growth challenges. Over the last year, I've brought together a group of impact-driven thought leaders where we meet every single day to discuss psychology, communication, mindset, and business case studies. We have people who have made millions of dollars, lost millions of dollars, Harvard MBAs, and new entrepreneurs like you and I. Entrepreneurship can be lonely, so if you're looking for a support system, please follow the link in the description below for some more information. There's like no rules, just talk about whatever.
And okay,
It's just gonna go.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, my English is not the best, so let me try. I'm gonna
All good.
I'm gonna do my best.
We've been dealing with it for like fucking couple days now.
Okay.
Yours is way better than a couple people.
Okay. So perfect.
Yeah, but they've all been fine.
Cool.
Is the festival your main business or?
No. We have a brand called ISTMO. We started selling T-shirts made from recycled plastic that created a community, and then now we have a recycling system called Waste Reduction Foundation, and we're gonna open soon our own recycling facility, and that helped me create awareness of sustainability, recycling, and all that. And all these big companies started texting me, and now we have an agency to manage sustainability budgets, and we do marketing campaigns. And now we're also building an app called React Responsible Actions that's gonna give you tokens for good actions. So every time you recycle, every time you donate blood, every time you go to a cool festival, every time you do something good for the ecosystem, you're gonna get points.
It's like carbon credits, kind of like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So the idea is to create this online community and a group of people who want to create impact, connected with the companies that want to create impact, do it together and have a bigger impact.
What do the tokens that they're generating? What can you redeem?
It's backed up by cash.
Oh, okay.
And the budgets of marketing and sustainability budgets I have seen from big companies, 50% of that they use it in literally stupid shit. And the idea is to use that to actually create a token so people can gain the token and use it, like, for example, in the marketplace that you can buy rice, you can buy something in the supermarket, or you can use it in your favorite coffee place. And you create a network of responsible allies, I call them. And those places are responsible allies and places that you recycle, places that you're gonna meet cool people. And yeah, you create like a whole community scenario. And now I'm becoming like a startup that in Panama, when you talk to an investor about startups and safe notes and convertible note, there's like, what the fuck is that? I want to get paid my dividends in the first year. So don't talk me about paying dividends in 100 years. What the fuck is that safe note? So yeah, it's something I have just learned becoming a startup, how to do it, how to raise capital. So now we are in that process of raising capital to try to make the whole technology and the whole thing better to then sell it in different places.
Someone else told me about that the other day, that like here when you're raising money, like you said, you have to get the dividends first year. I mean, there are businesses in the US that have a 25-year like negative cash flow plan.
No. We just started, or?
Yeah, we've been on.
Oh shit. Okay. I mean, no, yeah. Okay.
That's hilarious.
So imagine when I went to Colombia, they have Dan Vivienda, they have a 5-foot building just for entrepreneurs. I just tell you the reality of a startup. A startup is a company that doesn't pay dividends. And what they do is they bring money from different investors from the United States, from different places in Latam that invest in the company. That company doesn't pay dividends. So all they do is reinvest for growth. So it's good for a country to have startups because they solve the specific problem. So the idea is all these companies, they start paying these startups and you create more opportunity for growth. You see, and that's better for the country because if I get money from the United States for the investors and I use it for growing Panama, I'm gonna create more jobs, more opportunities, and we're gonna solve the problem that we are solving as a startup. And for example, what they told me is that in Colombia, this big I don't want to say the name, but it was a famous startup in Colombia, and they started working with the government because the government was like, okay, if I give this contract to a startup, they're gonna reinvest it for grow. If I give it to a normal company, they're just gonna do it and pay dividends, and I'm gonna make rich. But with I do with this, I'm gonna actually help solve something bigger and create more opportunities for jobs and stuff like that. So I believe a lot that we as a country need to invest more in startups, but we need to educate investors that startups are companies that solve problems and they burn money. They actually talk about like burn rates. They get how much is your burn rate? In Panama, you say to a normal investor like, "Hey, I have a burn rate of 10K per month." It's like, what the fuck? So that's not a successful business. So yeah, it's a different plan to different. It's not like other countries. Here, people doesn't they don't know too much about this industry that is coming, and I think that everything needs to be digitalized, and yeah, you need to you need to show the society that we need to invest more in more startups.
Where are people raising money from right now? Is it typically from the government, or is it from US investors or local investors?
Local investors right now, for the people who want to start for the seed capital, you talk to local investors in Panama. There are seed programs like Ciudad Saber that you can.
Is that the City of Knowledge?
City of Knowledge,
Yeah,
yeah.
as they
City of
mentioned,
Knowledge, yeah. Ciudad Saber, City of Knowledge, yeah. And yeah, you participate in their programs and they help you raise capital. I mean, at least it's seed capital. Also, they have something called Sena Seed that you can do their program, and they can help you raise capital, seed capital too, and some angels, but some angels that actually believe in the idea, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Like talk to the specific key partners for us. For example, a guy who has a recycling company, he's a good investor for our company because it's smart money. So the idea is to package all that up to then raise capital outside of Panama.
It's very interesting coming here and like getting exposed to the entrepreneurship community. We've obviously done this podcast in Miami, we've done it in Charlotte, we've done it in Charleston, we've done it in Denver, Colorado, we've done it in LA, and we've gotten to see all these different like entrepreneurial cultures. But what you see pretty often in the US is there's a lot of people that their entire business is just raising money.
That's incredible.
Like they have an idea, but their focus is not on like growing that idea. It's just about raising money. And there's so much money available. Like you have all these funds, and most of the funds are not invested. So like 80% of that fund isn't even being deployed. That capital's not even being deployed.
No, for me, it's crazy because it's like a domino effect. Because when you have technology in your business, the idea is to put more money to grow it and make it more scalable, but it doesn't. Your numbers are in red. So for me, it's weird to think like that. But now that I'm understanding why, is because you want to make it massive. All your technology needs to be everywhere. So it's something that I'm getting used to understand. And when I started talking to some VCs, they told me that, yeah, Diego, if we invest in your company, we're gonna talk to the next VC. So our equity will have a better exit. And if you Sequoia invest in your company, then another big bank is gonna invest in you, and then it goes. It's like a domino effect. I don't know. It's crazy. For me, we are used to the normal business of making your whole money and have a profit, you pay dividends and buy. But with technology, it's a totally different scenario.
Yeah, and you see like what I'm impressed about here is like when you talk about burn rates. We had this girl on the podcast 2 days ago, and she's like super proud that she raised like $4,000 of her own money, and she's like, and that will float the business for the next year.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's crazy because in the US, to run a business with $4,000 for the year is like unheard of. right? My burn rate's $40,000 a month,
Wow.
you know? Like, and so our shareholders their biggest focus is bringing down that burn rate. So what's impressive to me about Panama is because of that lack of capital, you have a lot of entrepreneurs that have learned how to effectively bootstrap a company with very little capital, which is
100%.
a very valuable skill set.
I mean, the idea of I have 5 years doing bootstrapping because I didn't, I knew at some point that I wanted to raise capital, I wanted to implement technology. I didn't knew how to do it after 5 years ago. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to raise any single dollar. We're going to find a way to to make money. And that's why I started, I mean, we haven't talked about this, but my idea is ISTMO. It's a brand called ISTMO. So we are focused of our mission is to create a community of responsible humans. Responsible humans is someone who want to create impact in themselves and their surroundings. So the problem that we are solving is that people want to help and they don't know where to start. Literally, they literally text me. You see, my phone is over there. They literally tell me, Diego, where can I participate in the? How can I help the turtles? How can I help recycling? How can I help with this? So we have brought a community of people who want to help, and now I'm connecting with the companies that want to create marketing campaigns to create impact campaigns. So the marketing budgets for the companies to actually carry a campaign are huge. And that's why I started like talking to the marketing agencies that work with these big brands and tell, okay, now the new trend is to create impact with marketing budget, a sustainable campaign. And the budgets were bigger, and I started selling that idea, and that brought me a little bit of money. And now that I want to digitalize, it's like, okay, we have traction, we have sold a lot of money for 400,000 last year. So we have traction, we have a good idea, and I wanted to implement the technology I told you about, the point system, and I started talking with a big company, Heineken. They have a subcategory, a sub beer called Cristal. So Cristal, they told me like, Diego, I want to create a campaign to help create awareness about helping the nature, and we want to create a recycling program. And I was like, okay, perfect. We're gonna do this. We're gonna create in the city different points that you can recycle. When you recycle, you gain points. Those points you use to exchange it for the clothing and for beers. And guy, the campaign was successful. They built the technology because they have the money to do it. And I was like, hey, just try to do it. Yeah, it was like my MVP, my minimum value product. And when I saw that technology was doing something good, I was like, okay, now we have to replicate that idea and offer that platform to different companies. And that's what we're building right now. And now I'm raising capital to focus on that idea, but that idea is gonna develop my clothing brand, my recycling system, my agency, and my festival. And that's the whole idea.
What are you going to use the money that you raise? How are you going to deploy it within your company to grow the company?
Right now, we need to invest in technology. And our main focus right now is technology and our recycling facility. Because we just gained a contract in Panama Pacifico. Panama Pacifico is a logistics center, and it's a place where we're doing our festival. They are becoming a eco parque industrial, a eco-friendly park, logistics park, because they want to apply to green funds. So the idea is that we just gained a contract to do the recycling in the whole area, and there are 360 companies that we're gonna recycling their waste, compact, and sell it. I make money from the waste, and yeah, that's the goal. That's actually cash flow. And in order to help people bring more waste to we create the loyalty program, because from the revenue we generate from the waste, we want to use a percentage for the token so people can recycle more.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How'd you get into this?
Man, I'm a surfer. I started in, imagine, no, this idea started in 5 years ago when I was my senior year in the university. I study in Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston.
No way.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
sister went there. I'm from Massachusetts originally.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy shit.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, man, Wentworth. It was crazy, bro. I started as an interdisciplinary engineering.
Really?
Until this day, I have no idea what the fuck is that. I just remember I saw this in like, okay, so yeah, we're gonna study interdisciplinary engineering. It sounds good. And I remember I was like in the club, like, hey, what do you do? Interdisciplinary engineering. Diego, nice to meet you. But yeah, that was not for me. And I changed into entrepreneurship and business management because I felt it that sometimes the engineer, they focus more on what it can be solved with what they have. The entrepreneur goes a little bit beyond the box. So when I started talking to my professor, the one who got me into this, he told me, Diego, if you want to create something, you have the idea, then you hire the engineering. I was like, okay, you're an entrepreneur. And that's why I started doing entrepreneur. So my senior project, Diego, at that time they used to call me the uppreneur because I made 2 apps in the university, man, and they both failed. I lost a lot of money. And my professor was like, Diego, fuck apps. Do something that is you. Something that connects with your purpose, with the person that you are. And because I'm a surfer, so I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna create an app. I'm not gonna make an app. And that time there was something called a 4Ocean. It's like a bracelet that you buy it and you help clean the ocean.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like I like that idea, but a bracelet is like you buy one and you don't buy more. And I started doing some research and I saw that you can use plastic to make clothing, just like this. I was like, I'm gonna do this idea, create the whole marketing, the whole business plan, pitch the idea. I was like, hey, we're gonna create a brand called ISTMO. ISTMO is isthmus, and Panama is an isthmus, so it was the perfect name. So it was good. When I graduated, I was finishing college. I literally remember it was like, okay, you have 2 options: stay in New York, working an opportunity that I got, or go to Panama to start a t-shirt business made from recycled plastic. Man, something told me, like, Diego, go to Panama. Like, I literally felt it. And I came to Panama, and the first day I came to Panama, I met a guy from United States that he told me, Diego, what do you want to do with your life? Literally, the first day, super random. The guy told me, I told like, I have no idea. I just graduated from college. Today's my birthday, and I want to start a business, t-shirts made from recycled plastic. The guy was like, bro, my best friend is the one who made the t-shirt from recycled plastic. I was like, holy shit. Bam, he gave me the number.
No way.
It was so crazy that the guy who was his contact, he used to live in Las Vegas. Bro, I'm a deep Raider fan. I'm like, that's my shit, man. I'm a Raider fan. And I remember the first thing I talked to the guy in Las Vegas, like, hey, I have no idea, but I need to do business here because I'm a Raider fan. And the guy was like, me too. And we started a relationship. So I get the product. It was very nice t-shirt. For example, I brought them to Panama. Huge success. I brought 200 units, very small. They sold in a week. Then in 2019, I ordered like 1,000 units, and that's a big number in Panama. And I sold it in 3 months during the pandemic. So the whole trend started, the whole movement. And then Nestle, it was our first company. They talked to Diego, we're going to do a collaboration. Let me see all your products. I was like, okay, we have the t-shirt. We can do something very nice. We do it. I was like, oh my God, Diego, your price is a bit expensive. I was like, yeah, because you're not buying a t-shirt. You're buying a brand. You're buying a movement. So we're going to connect your t-shirt with a campaign of recycling. So that started the whole thing. People recycling, they get the t-shirt. And then after that, a lot of companies started telling me like, Diego, I want to do a collaboration. And when we grew, and a lot of people started telling me, Diego, okay, now it's time to recycle. Where can I give you my plastic bottles? Then we did an recycling system, but this recycling system started as a business, because in order to have a successful route, you need to talk to these, communities. And at that time, when I approached them to different communities, I'm not saying the name, they really tell me, Diego, I know there's money in the waste management. How can I, give me something back? Coima. They say, they want their money back. And for some idea, just came like, no. This is a non-profit. So now we created a recycling system that is a non-profit, that you collect tax deductible money from these big companies to do the recycling system, and that waste that you generate, we create. We have a recycling center that we collect the waste and compact, and then we make money from the waste. Do I understand?
100%.
Yeah.
So you guys collect the raw materials as the nonprofit, and then that goes and becomes your raw materials for your recyclable manufacturing.
Exactly. And we market everything as a publicity movement, because I just took to these big companies like, okay, Coca-Cola, why the heck you gonna pay a billboard? That's so boring. Pay a recycling electric truck, and that creates impact. And that's the whole idea. And that brought me into Panama Pacific. And Panama Pacific earlier, they told me, because they ordered me some shirts, and they told me, Diego, do you have, are you do you want to do a festival? And I was like, a festival? Yeah, do a sustainable festival. Like, okay, let's do it. Panama Pacific is a big client. Of course, I'm gonna say yes. Zero experience. I say yes. I was like, okay, fuck, how I'm gonna do this? Then I talked to some friends that they do festivals. We do 50-50. We start a whole project. Then I discovered that these big companies, they have budgets for events and sustainability. So it was the perfect place to finance the whole project. So now it's gonna be our third year. And for example, I remember that the first festival, we wanted to buy a recycling electric truck. And I was like, everybody used to be, Diego, no, buy something with gasoline, they're a little bit cheaper, diesel, use normal. No, if we want to be sustainable, we have to do it right. We want to buy the recycling truck, the electric recycling truck. And we managed to gain some money for the festival, and we paid the down payment for the recycling electric truck, and it was very nice, man. And that recycling truck is now collecting waste in all Panama.
No way.
Yeah, man.
What do you think the power is of cause branding? Why are more companies like taking this approach to marketing?
I see that the brands is a way to communicate your idea, and it helps your consumer connect with the brand. So the idea that we're becoming a little bit more successful than the cover competition is the whole storytelling. People fell in love with the why. So if you communicate your why very, very well, people is gonna connect with you. So because the guy who I'm partnered up with the guy from the recycling business here in Panama, he's telling me like, Diego, your brand is attracting all my clients, because you're doing something that is connected with a purpose, with a why, and I see that it's very nice that people actually connect with the why and not with the product. And at the beginning, my first product, man, it was shit. And I started reading the book of Shoe Dog, the one from Phil Knight from Nike. I read it that like the first product he made, it was not that good, but he's put it out in the market and people love it for some reason. The same thing happened to me. People, I was like, that t-shirt, I mean, it's nice, comfortable, but I don't know, it's not the best product. People love it. And yeah, you have to put your idea out there and see how people are gonna react. and if they connect with the purpose. You don't sell the product, you sell the purpose. And that's the whole idea of creating a brand.
You look at a lot of these things like, your first shitty product and you laugh about it, and you talk about like when you were in college you had 2 apps that didn't go
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah.
Why did you not let, and how did you not let those failures define you, and you were still able to overcome those speed bumps and find this venture that is now, sounds like it's extremely successful?
Oof. Well, not extremely. We're just started. We're starting, and but it's been good, you know. And the whole idea is because it's gonna sound crazy, but I feel it's part of my purpose. So it's very crazy. I'm telling you this, but I feel it's something very connected to me, because look at now that I look back. When I don't want to say I have a rough child, but I mean I lost my father when I was like 8 years old, and man, it was painful. But I remember that pain teach me to become the person that I want to be. That mindset, like, okay, I want to make my dad proud, so I'm gonna become the best. And I started being very thankful. Like, hey, yeah, I lost my dad, but I have a house, I have the family, I have friends, I have a school, I have a bed. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I started having this thank you, started having a lot of gratitude. And that idea brought me that I wanted to I'm so thankful for my life that I want to do something good for that. I want to pay it forward. And I always started praying God, the life, whatever you want to call it, like, hey, I'm gonna do something great. I'm gonna do something good for the world. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something great. And when the idea of ISTMO came to me in college, man, I didn't sleep for like 2 weeks. No, it was crazy. And the whole idea of this as trying to make something bad into something positive. What industry is that one? Recycling. You turn waste into something positive. You turn waste into a beautiful product. So I feel this connected with my purpose. And for some reason, every time that we have something bad happen, something could happen. Like when literally 2 weeks ago, I was like, man, how the heck I'm gonna raise capital for the app? Who the fuck wanna finance an app that is gonna create points for good action? And I was like literally walking, and boop. Then I received a message for the BCE, is a bank in Guatemala, and I saw like, hey Diego, you just won 25K to implement in your app. I was like, holy shit! It's like life telling you like, keep going, keep going. And when I met the guy from United States, and he literally told me like, hey, I'm my best friend is the one who made the recycling t-shirts. It's like life is putting it's helping you, but at the same time it's putting you challenges to see if you can overcome them. You see, and that's created with my purpose. I said, okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I know that we're gonna have challenges, but is this gonna help me become the better version of myself and a better entrepreneur? You see.
So obviously you've got a couple different businesses going on right now, and sometimes it's difficult for someone from the outside to kind of see how all the puzzle pieces fit together. But as the entrepreneur, you're visualizing that outcome, and you're kind of seeing the path as it plays out, and it makes sense in your head. But where do you see all these pieces coming together? What is that final picture? What is that like definition of success for you?
I mean, it's crazy because right now I'm working on how to communicate my idea. Because when I tell people that we are a holding company, that we have several, that we have clothing, recycling, events, technology, it's very hard so to people understand. And when I talk to holding company, people are like, what the heck? Why are you a holding company? But the whole idea is to create a community, literally, of people who want to help and companies who want to help, and we just want to bring them together. That's it. We want to connect people who want to create impact in the world. That's it. Because I believe if you connect two great minds, you're going to do something crazy something good for the mind, for the world. And that's the whole purpose. And ISTMO, back in the day, I didn't knew this. I used the idea of ISTMO because it's a very Panamanian world. When Panama is an isthmus. But an ISTMO is a piece of land that connect large masses and it's surrounded by ocean. I was like, man, my whole name is connection. So my idea is connecting people who wanna create impact. That's all. One of my ideas is to create a responsible humans hub. Literally, do you have an idea of Soho House?
Soul House?
Soho House.
Oh, yeah.
I want to create the same thing, but for responsible humans, people who want to actually do something good. And you may go to this ISMO responsible house, and you met a guy who owns a waste management system, and you have a creative agency. Boop, you create something good with them, and you create something good for the world. That's my whole idea. Connecting cool minds, people who I wanna sell that people who wanna create impact are the new trend, are the new I want to make responsible human famous. That's the whole thing.
And when you said before, like, it's difficult to communicate that big picture message, I think like something I've had to figure out because I experience the same thing. I have like in my head these big goals that I want to accomplish, but when you're speaking to someone who's operational, right? Like when you're speaking to visionaries, it's one thing, but it's typically the visionaries are not the one that are helping you with your idea. They're doing their own idea. But when you're speaking to someone operational, they're more concrete, sequential. So they don't think in that abstract. They're much more in the here and now. And so when you speak of these things in the future, it's not pragmatic to them and they can't rationalize it because it's not in the present. And so what I've realized that I have to do is like, for that specific operational person that I'm talking to, I have to say in my own head ahead of time, like, there'll be a good fit for this specific piece of the business, and then only talk to them about that one small sliver of the business, and the other 50 puzzle pieces, like, don't even expose them to that because it's just going to overwhelm them and they don't understand. And it's like the big lesson is like, you got the operational people and you got the strategy people, and like you got to communicate to them differently.
No, it's funny because now that startup culture, the elevator pitch is around. How do you communicate your idea in 1 minute? Man, it's been so difficult for me, and that's where we're working on right now on the storytelling, on how we're gonna sell the whole package, and yeah, I understand your pain because when I talk to some investors here, like, yeah, okay, you are like a marketing agency. Like, no, we're more, a little bit more of that. Are you a sustainable agency? No, we're more because we have a brand. What are you? What are you doing? We're clearly implementing sustainability and responsibility into people's and persons, and we're using these digital platforms to make it better and make it more to have measures. And you're like, okay. So what's the main business? So it's being a little bit difficult for me, and I'm working on that right now. But I know that if we manage to do the whole thing better, to have this whole storytelling, it's gonna be good because we have good numbers, and everything has been bootstrapped. And yeah, I understand the operational part, man. It's a little bit hard, but I think it's part of the challenge that if you overcome that challenge, it's gonna be good for the business.
And it's like it's very difficult to create one elevator pitch that meets all people. Like if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that that pitch has like right brain language in it and left brain language in it, because you have the abstract thinkers and then you have the concrete thinkers. So you have to have the vision for the abstract people, but then the numbers and that data in the here and now for the, concrete people. And I've found that, again, it's like I have 10 different pitches, elevator pitches, based on the personality type that I'm pitching it to. And the real challenge becomes as excited as you are to like communicate that pitch, the first step and the most important step is to analyze that audience first and to be asking the questions to figure out what is that profile of that person and that audience that I'm talking to, and then matching that specific pitch in your arsenal with that person.
Yeah, no, I completely understand, man. It's so, and it's funny because if you talk to someone who understands branding and movement and culture and the whole scenario, is like, man, you're creating a whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Because you already have the community, you already label your community, you're creating a whole movement. They understand. But imagine talking to this to someone who his business is waste management. It's just gaining government contracts to do their waste management, and that's my business. And they're big money.
They're in the box.
Exactly. But what I'm telling, no, if you put a brand and technology into your industry, we're gonna make something big happen. Because waste management is, I mean, it's a massive industry. It's a problem right now. I don't know if you notice here in Panama, there's plastic, there's waste everywhere. So all I'm doing is creating brand, putting technology into an existing industry. And I see that that's like a trend. It's not a trend, but it's what startups are doing. And they're raising capital to make it faster that you can possibly do it. You see?
Out of all these experiences and all these ups and downs that you've had with
Holy shit,
building
yeah,
the
man.
company,
It's been a roller coaster, huh?
out of all of them, what is the single biggest takeaway that you have from all of those experiences that you would pass along to other entrepreneurs that are just getting started?
Man, the whole purpose is that if you're gonna do an idea, do something that really, you will always hear this on a podcast, in TikTok and Instagram, everywhere. Do something that you really like, man. Something that is that you overcome. Because if you start a whole idea for money, the first year, the first month, the first 3 years that you don't get any money, you're gonna quit. And quitters, they never get it. So if you do that something that you actually like, man, you're gonna continue. If you see yourself in the future and you see yourself, okay, I'm gonna be the freaking CEO of ISTMO worldwide. I'm gonna make this company big. You have something to attach yourself and believe in. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be. But if you started with just thinking about money, I don't know. You have to. It's something. Starting a business, you become even more spiritual, because and not just spiritual. If you want to become your best version of yourself, you want to be the best entrepreneur wherever, you need to start reading, you need to work out, you need to literally become the best person of yourself, because your business needs the better version of yourself to make it better. So it's something that it's more than just starting a business, you see?
100%.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really good advice, and I completely agree. If
Very simple.
if people are interested in your services or in your business or want to connect with you, where can they find you?
I mean, the best way is to connect in Instagram, istmo.co, istmo.co. You can send any DM and really reply, or you can. I'm starting to become a little bit more an influencer. My guys from marketing, they tell me, Diego, you need to become an influencer. I don't want to be an influencer. Like, Diego, people need to listen to you. So now you can text me in Instagram, Diego Diaz with C, Diego Diaz C, and you can get my information. And I mean, we have a website, www.istmo.co. And yeah, that's how you can approach me, and we can help you put sustainability and responsibility in your business and your practices.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, sick. All right.